Hello everyone, it's Marge from Fashion Index. Guys, today Tirsa and I are so excited to introduce you all to Joe and Bella. Joe and Bella is a fantastic brand with adaptive clothing, and they specifically cater to a more mature audience. So I'm inviting in Ben from Joe and Bella and Tirsa, of course.
Hello,
And
everybody. It's so nice to see everybody today. I hope you're having a great day. Yay,
hi guys.
Joe!
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
Bella's here.
Hey,
Ben!
how's it going?
Great, how are
Doing
you?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting. Glad to join
Oh,
your live today.
oh my God.
Oh my
We
gosh,
love
we're
what you
ready.
guys are doing, Ben. It's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a fun journey so
Oh
far. That's for sure.
my God. Okay, so let's start out for
Sure.
real. Tirsa, start with their spiel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tirsa. This is Marge, and this is Ben from Joe and Bella. We're very excited to have them here. And we're going to talk about adaptive clothing and kind of what it is. So I wanted to kick it out to you, Ben. Can you kind of walk through what does that mean?
Sure. Yeah, happy to. So, adaptive clothing is a broad category that can include a whole lot of different products. Broadly, it's clothes that are modified in some sort of way to make dressing easier, safer, simpler. It could also be a way to modify it so they're more aesthetically pleasing for a specific type of person. Um, we probably know a bunch of types of adaptive clothing already, but might not call it that. Things like baby clothes, maternity clothes.
Right.
Those are clothes that are adapted.
Yeah.
Right. Women as they're growing or have to adapt to their new body type. So we make clothes to do that. So at Joe and Bella, we are not making baby clothes. We're not making maternity clothes. We're making clothes for really two groups of people: older adults, as well as adults living with either a temporary or long-term physical disability. And that could be something like I'm spending a lot of time in a wheelchair. I use an incontinent product, or something that's smaller, like I just have really bad arthritis, or my vision's a little limited and messing with buttons is not so easy. So all our clothes are changed one way or the other to improve dressing. So I brought some visual aids here. Here's one of our shirts. It's the easiest one to kind of explain and show. It's a button down, and I'll see if I can. I'll step back here. So this is our men's button down shirt, and we've changed a few things. Looking at it, which of course is the main goal, is it just looks like a button down shirt. What we've done here, right, looks like buttons. They're not. These are magnets, and so you can just see. I'm a little too short for the camera. And so you've got
That's fantastic.
right behind, right, that's a real button, and then behind that is a hidden magnet. And so you can put this on and off with one hand. It's super easy for folks who have limited hand dexterity or mobility or strength. And of course, it makes for those who are getting help with getting dressed by another person, it makes that process a whole lot easier too.
Right.
So we've got a whole lot of other products to do that, from tops and bottoms, socks. You can even find, not from us, but you can even look at other brands that sell undergarments and footwear. But it's been, I think it's a growing category that's finally getting a lot of the attention it deserves.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny. We had this conversation when we first actually met, is just because you are getting older in age and, living under different conditions, it doesn't mean that you want to look any different than you might have dressed your entire life and your entire career. But the options are definitely limited until now with Joe and Bella. I mean, the problem was the product that was made prior to Joe and Bella kind of looking at it from a different perspective was that it was just boring and utility. It was it was made for a function, but it really was not something that you'd want to wear. I mean, would you want to wear scrubs every day? I mean, it's just like that.
Exactly.
If you're not a doctor or you're not a nurse, you wouldn't really probably choose to wear that every day. You know, you still want to have your dignity. You still want to get dressed up and look nice and feel good, because we all know that when you look good, you feel good. And as we discussed also, Ben, this generation is living longer and longer.
Yep.
Whether it be, you know, because of medications, because of, you know, the way that they're being cared for now. But if you are living longer and longer, why not feel good in whatever the state that you're in right now? You know, it's just amazing. And I love that this is, Joe and Bella have swooped in and really identified this niche, and you're taking it by storm, which I think is amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been, you know, it really has been quite a ride the last few years, and you know, it's, you know, you hit on a lot of, I think, really important points that are core to who we are. And you know, we started during the pandemic. You know, like everybody who was locked in baking banana bread, we all
Right.
decided to start a business on top of it. But you know, the reason we started Joe and Bella is our founder, Jimmy Zollo, was caring for his grandmother along with his family, and she was living in a memory care community when COVID hit. And you know, like everybody, she was locked in, but that also meant that her family was locked out.
Yeah.
And around that time, they realized that, you know, his grandmother, who had been spending most of her time in a wheelchair, had gone through surgeries on upper and lower body, and was a lot less mobile than she used to. They didn't realize how painful it really was just to get dressed each and every day, and how stressful that was for the caregiver who was helping as well. It became a long, involved process. It created tension between her and her caregiver. And so, you know, Jimmy and his family, you know, they saw this, like, well, what can we do here? And they Googled around, didn't know adaptive clothing even existed, but found some, sent it over to her. A week later, they checked in to see if she was wearing the stuff, and she refused because she said it was all too ugly. And she made, and it was a very easy decision for her, the choice to keep dressing how she is, which is painful, undignified, stressful, then wear clothes that she didn't think looked like who she is.
Yeah.
And we were like, why don't those exist? Why aren't there premium options for, you know, adults who still want to look nice? And, you know, Joe and Bella clothes, I think, you know, we're designing things really with a lot of core foundational styles that everybody likes to wear. You know, I know I showed you that button down earlier. I do wear that button down. Like, here's a men's polo, right? It's just a polo. It's nothing too flashy. But this is a women's long sleeve top.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to make things that Jimmy's grandmother would like to wear, that are kind of ageless, universal in style and design, but really premium in their quality.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're using really high quality fabrics, really high quality design. Our designer actually helped launch the initial products over at Lululemon, so she's brought a lot of that experience to our side.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of a nice niche for us, which is, you know, we're not making wildly fashion forward stuff, but we're making things that you can wear every day.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think people need. Is they don't need, you know, the crazy stuff.
Yep.
They need the things that they can wear every day. I also love your marketing, because when I got onto your Instagram, I was like, it feels like a hug. Like you know, we all have our grandparents and we all like love them, to see them walking down the runway, and like also that you're giving them, like, it's almost like you're telling them you matter.
Yep.
Like, we're not forgetting about you, that you're in an assisted living or in a care facility. You know, you matter. And like, this is just like phase 3, I guess. Like you say, phase 1, maybe before kids, phase 2 with kids, phase 3 after kids. Like you know, it's a next phase of your life, and it doesn't have to be bad. And in fact, a lot of these facilities are really they provide great experiences for them, like taking them out shopping, taking them on trips, like things like that. Like, but the whole other major thing, you have to get dressed every day.
Yep.
And it shouldn't have to be painful, you know?
Yeah, Yeah, aging's not always easy.
Yeah.
Often, particularly, when you get up there in years, it's the opposite,
Oh
and
yeah.
it can be pretty
I mean,
difficult.
yeah, yeah.
And one thing we've been trying to do, and we've learned that there are a lot of folks who, when they hear like, hey, here's a specialized garment for older folks to wear, they're like, well, I don't need that. That might be for the other folks at this home, but it's not for
Right.
me. And so there's still this sort of inherent stigma into using resources that might make someone's life easier.
Right.
And so one thing we've been trying to do is, in terms of our marketing, highlight the joys of aging,
Yeah.
highlight the lowlights of aging. We'll show both. But by doing that, we're all in it together. We're all going through this. And to show like those lowlights are a whole lot better than the alternative, which is not getting to that point to experience that.
Right.
Now that said, through this, really are trying to be as authentic, as genuine as possible. When we launched our original products, we hired professional models, which we found was not easy. We wanted older adult models, and we'd reach out to modeling agencies, and they'd send us back headshots of guys in their 40s with washboard abs.
And you're like, no.
We're like, no, like, yeah, he's got a little salt and pepper in his hair, but like, we need someone twice that age. And so we even started reaching out to folks on Instagram who are not professional models, but might be doing it, as a hobby or trying to get into it.
Right.
And it was still a challenge because, most folks that age either, aren't on Instagram or aren't interested in showing themselves as a model. And we found a couple. I thought they looked really cool, but they looked too much like models. They were a little too young. I think, the guy had a very distinctive look at like he's a model. And so what we did for our next photo shoot was we went to an actual care community here. I'm based in Chicago. So we went to a care community here in Chicago, worked with the residents, the staff, the family of the residents, and had 12 of their residents model for us. And so we spent a week there. We built a
runway.
A runway. We built a photo booth for them where we had a professional photographer come in. We had professional hair and makeup artists come in, and spent the first few days actually just photographing for our website, for our marketing materials. And that first day we actually had a happy hour. Residents are allowed to drink there, which was fun. So we had some white wine and some cheese, and family got to meet us. And one of the residents came up to their activity director and said, "Why are these guys here? What do they want from us? Are they going to make fun of us?" And that's where a lot of them were hesitant at first. Like, why would anybody want to see us? Why would anybody really want to photograph us? Why do we matter? And we reacted just how you did. But we were able to then spend the next few days showing them why. And that they do matter. That it is important for other folks who are their age to see themselves in these photographs and in this video. And the last day of really this week with them, we did a fashion show where we actually built a race runway. Their activity director came in a tux to be the MC. We brought in outside corporate partners to get everybody flowers at the end. Everybody's family came, and it was wonderful. I think out of the dozen or so folks that walked the runway, I think 8 or 9 of them all had some sort of mobility device. Like 3 of them were in wheelchairs, a few were walkers and canes. And that woman who was really hesitant to participate that first day, she came down the runway, she literally was having her hands over her head. She was like flexing the shirt at the end. Right. It was something else. And not surprisingly, those couple of those videos kind of went viral, and we've had other communities reach out saying we want it. And so our team just spent this past weekend at some wonderful communities based under the Priority Life Care assisted living community in Michigan and Indiana, where we did kind of smaller versions of this, but it was so fun. Residents had a blast, and it's kind of hitting our mission in both lanes, which is like, hey, here are some products that can help your life, but also here's a community. Here's
Yes.
a reason why you still matter, you still care. Here's a moment where you can be literally center stage,
Totally.
you know, in a way you might not ever have been before. I know,
Of course.
you know, a lot of these residents are, you know, have never had a professional makeup artist, you know,
Yeah.
and so, you know, it was really neat seeing people have like a first
Yeah.
experience. You know,
Agreed.
I'm not like someone, I'm 94 and I've never done this before.
Oh my God. Yeah.
We had
That's
somebody else who
amazing.
was a model and said, I haven't been a model since like 1947. And, you know, it's just
Wow.
like, what an amazing thing to think, you know, I just had this 60-year
That's
gap
so
between these two
cool.
experiences. So, you know, it's really wonderful and helps us, I think, at Joe and Bella stay true to our core of, you know, our mission, which is really helping people dress, helping them age easier and safer and in as dignified way as possible.
Yeah, I just want to quickly reintroduce you. This is Ben from Joe and Bella. They have an adaptive brand focused on the aging community who might need a product that has some unique features to make it easier to dress. And I'm Tirsa, and this is Marge, and we're just so excited to be talking to you today. There's so many great things about what you are bringing forward. You're highlighting a community that for many of them feel like, you know, they don't have something that they can purchase that resembles who they were and who they still feel like they are. And so having the opportunity to introduce you to a larger community, having an opportunity to talk about the acceptability of understanding you have some challenges later in life is totally natural. I mean, it's something that all of us are going to face, and being able to have clothes that give a little more dignity and a little more pride to what you're wearing is super special and important. I think all of us can say, if it's your grandmother, your grandfather, your great uncle, whoever that person is in your life who's a little bit older that might need a little assist. You know, we're going into the holidays and we can't wait to see them. If we haven't seen them every day for the last 365, we can't wait to get to connect with them, and they can't wait to see us. And so just knowing that there are options of clothes that they can feel great about in those moments and in every day is just super empowering. And thank you for bringing that product forward.
I just think it's amazing, honestly. If you're thinking about Christmas presents for your grandmas, aunts, uncles in a facility, guys, check out Joe and Bella. It's such a breath of fresh air for your relatives. The designs are fantastic. It looks like Ralph Lauren, like the shirts that the guys are wearing. I mean, it's like literally what they want to be wearing. It's what they used to wear more easily. So just check it out, you know, for the holidays, load up on Joe and Bella.
Sounds good to me. And I think, I think your loved ones will really appreciate it. You know, if you've got questions, I know it's a little funky to buy clothes online, especially if they're specialized to help, you know, a physical change you might be going through. Even trickier if you're buying it for somebody else. But we've got a lot of ways to help you understand if this product's right for you. Our customer service team's led by a former registered nurse who really spent her career working with older adults. So, you know, we've got specialists on board who can guide you to the right product, the right size. And, you know, we really are here to help.
It's amazing. I love it, Ben. We just are so excited that we connected with you guys, and we want to do a lot more with you guys.
Definitely.
And I know that, like, literally, it's not going to be very long before the world knows Joe and Bella. Literally.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You guys are perfect. It's just wonderful. All right, Tears. I think that we'll leave now. Guys, we will be replaying this on YouTube and on all of our social medias. You can find it on Joe and Bella's social media as well. Watch the whole video if you missed the beginning, all right? It's just amazing about Joe and Bella and what they're doing. All right, everyone? Take care.
Thank you. This has been great.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.